Hey, I'm Dave Longstreth, and I'm here in the Nonesuch Music Archive, the library, and it feels pretty amazing in here. And I guess we're going to talk about like some records.
That it is strictly a matter of sea level and coastline.
Oh, we could do Grown Backwards. A David Byrne record. I was just told his first from his Nonesuch era. I love this record. I bought it at Cutler's in New Haven, Connecticut. I remember like looking through the liner notes and seeing like, who's that amazing sort of Brazilian percussionist on this record? And it was this guy named Mauro Rafosco. 10 years later, I met this Brazilian percussionist at Bonnaroo, and I was like, what's your name? Oh, Mauro Rafosco. And I was just like, what? You played on Grown Backwards? Like, it was a big moment for me, and Mauro's a friend, and he's played on Dirty Projector's albums. But other things to say about this record are just like the songwriting and the words. I love the sensibility of it. I feel like it's perhaps a little bit of a dark horse in the man's oeuvre. And check it out if you don't know it. So next record, Jonny Greenwood's score for the Paul Thomas Anderson film, Phantom Thread. Obviously, beautiful film, beautiful score. When my wife and I were pregnant with our first child a couple of years ago, we each had these just really epic long lists of like names, and there was not a lot of overlap in terms of like what names we were imagining for our daughter. And we both had our sort of like ears, tilted to names. And one night we were like projecting Phantom Thread. And I do think it was the moment when the Daniel Day-Lewis character is like sewing the name Alma into the sort of seam of a dress. And I remember we just kind of looked at each other and we knew her name was Alma. So I love this. Le Mystère de Voix Bulgares, I guess. These records, there's 3 of them. Volumes 1 and 2 are just nonstop. They're so insane. You have to listen to these albums immediately. Just the songs, for one thing, the tunes are incredible. And then, the harmonies. And then the performances. The way these women sing together is just incredible. It feels like your ears just got 40% larger listening to this music. I think it's been pretty influential for me. Check these out, they're amazing. Caetano Veloso's 4th self-titled record, Caetano Veloso, from 1986. I love Caetano so much. Any sort of like epithet you would create for him in the English-speaking world. Oh, he's the Bob Dylan of the Portuguese language. He's the Paul McCartney of Brazil. They're all inadequate. Caetano is Caetano. This one is a beautiful album. And in my mind, Bob Dylan of the Portuguese language notwithstanding, this one does kind of remind me of the Dylan record Self-Portrait in a way. Because it's self-titled, and yet like Caetano is not really there. Like in some ways he's not really there. It's a lot of covers. He's doing a medley of Billie Jean and Eleanor Rigby. Again, I guess the Paul McCartney of Brazil notwithstanding. He's doing Get Out of Town, that Cole Porter song. And just to say nothing of the through line, I don't know if we talk about it enough, between that kind of like mid-century pop song of a Cole Porter or a Gershwin, and then this Brazilian harmonic, there's things going on. There's things going on this record. Check it out. Ty Braxton, Telekinesis. This is an amazing and singular record. Nothing else sounds like this. Tyondai and I shared a writing space my last kind of like year in New York. And it was just like an alien culture thriving in the next room. And I think some of that music became telekinesis eventually. One of the most incredible things about this record is the way it's recorded. And it's like a giant orchestra that they recorded sort of like row by row. I wonder what Ty would say about this, but like almost in this Brian Wilson-y studio as instrument kind of modality, 100 and whatever years into recording music and hundreds of years into orchestral music, no one has made an orchestra sound like this. Like, this is the record that makes a new sound that no one's ever heard before. Wow, it's incredible. Check it out. Next one has to be Scritti Politti, White Bread, Black Beer, 2006, maybe 2007. It was after this just long, difficult European tour. We had a show in London at Cargo. We just got through it. It was like that, you know? And then we're packing up our gear, and it's like 30 or 40 minutes before I can go out to the merch table, like say hi to anybody that's there. And, you know, no one's there, everyone's gone, except this really tall guy with a beard. And it turns out this is Green Gartside, who made this record. And he was just, I'll never forget, he was just like so amped and so positive. And he was just like, that was great, that was amazing, you guys should feel great. And we were kind of like, really though? Like, was it a good show? I don't even know. Green was like, it was. Keira Knightley was here. Keira Knightley was at the show. And we were like, oh, like, did she like it? And he was like, I don't know. She whooped and then she left. And that just seemed so funny to us at the time, and it became sort of like a catchphrase for kind of like years. She whooped and then she left. So Green, thank you for this album, and thank you for that indelible phrase. I named an EP Super João after João Gilberto. The person he is in his songs anyway, sort of talismanic for me. I love him. I love him so much. There was a period in the pandemic that I was just trying to find as many like 70s and 80s João YouTube's live shows as I could and just get his exact voicings. And so around that same time, Robin from Fleet Foxes was putting out a Nonesuch record of his own, the amazing Crack Up. And he turned me onto this song on this record, which I didn't know, called Estate. And I got obsessed with that song. And I didn't know this record at the time. And yeah, I guess since then, I don't know, I've played that song Estate at a show or two. I just love the colors of this album cover. This is a little bit of like an underexplored visual language of the 80s, I feel like. So the last record I'm going to talk about is from the Nonesuch Explorer series, which you have to explore. Nonesuch had field recordists in this sort of like Lomax model, going out and documenting folk cultures, folk musics. The recordings themselves are also just so beautiful, the sense of space that exists in so many of them. I think that's why I chose this one, Rhythms of the Grasslands from Burkina Faso. It's like a one mic capture, and there's like, but you're there. There's such depth. There's like, you know, some people clapping and like some sort of large drum, and then there's like an ngoni, like kind of back there that sounds like it's like under the awning of a building or something. These are so important to me, and they just like, they're beautiful. And then a hilarious thing about this one, of course, there's no way to probably establish this as a fact, but listen to the first song on this record. It sounds exactly like the chorus of Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani. And so I feel like, I don't know. I'm just saying. So, beautiful record. Okay, yeah. 'Cause I ain't no holla back girl. Wow, I got chills listening to that. Wow.